The Conquest of New York. In the realm of real estate, much like in life, duty of care and relevant work or task completions often requires the kind of long-term perspective that a marathon runner possesses. Patience to see through to the end, discernment to make urgent adjustments to protect the ability to see through to the end with relevant matters, and a keen understanding of the mechanics of business are not merely advantageous. They are essential for navigating the complexities of this industry of the economy, sector of the society, or domain of career, and irregardless, some personal life. At the gentle age of 22, Donald Trump found himself leaning into the overconfidence of now having a track record for resourcefulness. The family business, a seeming expanse, where he had access to lofty titles and a serious salary, also left him feeling confused. This was not merely a matter of dissatisfaction, it was a non-stop inner turmoil to break free from the confines or gildedness of his father's legacy, and carve out a distinct identity or carve out a piece of belonging or positioning in society, for himself, his territory. In an era where names and reputations held significant sway or deciding power, Trump adopted the pseudonym John Barron, a responsible maneuver that allowed him to market a variety of products, from Cadillacs to fishing boats. This was not mere vanity. It was a calculated step towards self-discovery and independence in a world that often defined individuals by their lineage, and the pseudonym created some distance from his father's reputations, meaning any fallout from Donald's activities here would lessen the damage to his family legacy. Here we see that love can be disciplined, strategic and logically expressed, sometimes. It doesn't always have to be gaudy and overflowing. In 1969, driven by an inner searing and relevant inspiration to pursue opportunity, Donald angled or pivoted himself towards Broadway producer David Black to inquire what was there, directly or indirectly. He arrived unannounced, clad in sharp attire, believing that the combination of a lavish lunch and his father's wealth would grant him entry into the glamorous world of theater. His investment of $70,000 was more than just capital. It was supposed to be serious supporting evidence towards his willingness to engage with the seeming intricacies of business, a rare diligence that belied his youth. Yet, despite the allure of nostalgia and the promise of stardom, the venture floundered most likely under the weight of critical reviews, leading to a financial loss that would likely compel him to return or retreat to the family business, possibly to regroup in that domain. However, failure is often the crucible in which resilience is forged. Rather than retreating into the shadows of his father's legacy, Trump chose to rebrand their company. This act of rebranding was not merely cosmetic, it signified an adjustment in vision and top leadership. While Fred Trump, Donald's father, focused on preserving wealth through seemingly cautious investments, he inadvertently laid the groundwork for his son's emergence as a seemingly distinct player in Manhattan's competitive landscape. By granting Donald a 25% stake in a low-income housing project in New Jersey, Fred Trump supported and strengthened his son for life, in a manner that would shape their family's dynamic and business trajectory. As Fred Trump's focus began to wane, he divested from properties that had not met expectations, such as Swifton Village in Cincinnati. His retreat mirrored the broader narrative of changing fortunes and lost opportunities, while Donald, under his father's steadfast backing, found himself navigating a landscape rife with both hardships and prospects. Fred's ambition had once transformed Jamaica Estates into a haven for the family, yet even his seemingly spectacular proposals faced serious resistance, illustrating the unpredictability inherent in real estate or when fantasy of the mind meets the reality of competitive or resistant people kind, among other logistical barriers in proposal manifesting. In observing the stalled Twin Pines project, Fred Trump witnessed not just a shift in his own fortunes, but a transformation within the sector itself. Savvy lawyers began their proposal manifestations of a kind and began utilizing tax law changes differently and more competitively in order to attract wealthy investors, marking a departure from the combative tactics that had characterized earlier real estate endeavors. With his investment in Twin Pines, Fred emerged as a considerable member among New York's elite, a new position emblematic of strategic wealth preservation rather than traditional returns. In the years that followed, Donald Trump began to shape a reputation around his contributions to the family business, inflating his victories or key task completions and claiming credit advantageously for accomplishments that were largely attributable to his father's efforts. Yet after all, he knew the obvious, that his father Fred wasn't going to live forever and now was long overdue to get very much going with general life building. This pattern of self-care and generally practical self-satisfying, rooted in inherited privilege, reflected a broader tendency to mythologize personal contributions in the quest for independence and recognition. By January 28, 1973, Trump had begun to proactively cultivate an extraordinary functional narrative of his contributions towards the family business, showcasing a stark contrast to his father's more modest, yet seemingly mundane and thus carrying less marketing impact, approach. This adjustment towards responsible and proactive self-storytelling and high-caliber tactfulness would ultimately redefine the Trump legacy in real estate, illustrating how ambition, or an inner searing, coupled with a rising need for independence and space, inaccurately aiming to operate as an adult with now adult obligations towards a critical and often unforgiving society, can lead to both climbing and confusion. In the end, Fred Trump's generally reliable support of his son's life provided an available pillar for Donald to not be as helpless in society and be allowed to build on an already decent family legacy. Yet, this work serves as a reminder that the procedures towards independence are often met with additional gravities to albeit continue to work through, requiring not only ambition, or an inner searing grounded outwards, very wisely, but also a reserved and subtle understanding of the interplay between resourcefulness, chance, and drive. The essential logistics of success in business, much like in life, lies in the promise to oneself, to simply but boringly dig one's heels into the mucky dirt and to navigate forward, pushing highlighted complexities, among other things, more out of the way, with both painstaking patience and a seriously clear and continually maturing vision for the future.
Make me hot.
By liking and subscribing.